Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shit. I hope y'all doing well. I am doing amazing. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video here on my public YouTube, but I saw this on TikTok and I said, oh, now this will get me to actually get up and actually record and actually do some work for real. Okay. Um, and I had did a podcast a while ago. I want to say back in like 2020 when the pandemic first hit. And when I was listening to the plan for the dynamic and the social distancing and staying inside and virtual, what I got from it was this pandemic is not our real issue. I know for me personally, baby, I was raised in Florida on the St. Johns River, barefoot, stepping on nails, ticks. I probably don't had, what is it? I probably don't had Lyme disease. I probably don't had tetanus 1,000 times, and my body fought it off. I said, so honey, as a barefoot Florida girl, honey, a C19, all that child, my immune system would probably laugh and be like, that's all you got? You know what I'm saying? I said, that's not my concern. Okay. My concern is not the actual virus. My concern is when you make people stay inside, okay? When everything becomes virtual online, two things are going to happen. Number one, you cannot pause time. So by shutting the society down, that is time we'll never get back. And I knew from then, I said, that is going to put us in a forever form of catch up that we'll never obtain. Number two, I said, I know what happens when Dwights are told what they can't do. I know what happens when Dwights feel as though they're being treated unfairly. And I said, you know, a lot of Dwights, if you sit there and have something that has been in their family or business that they've worked on generationally, and you try to come in and tell them what they can or cannot do, what I do know about Dwights, and low key, I respect it, is they're willing to unalive themselves and everyone else about their money, their business, their family, their legacy, their survival. Okay. And I don't feel no way about it. I honestly think my people need to develop that same sense of self-preservation. So I ain't mad at it. I would do the same thing if I was, you know, the weakest species on this planet. I would, by any means, I would keep myself and my family alive. So I'm not mad at it. But I said, that's my real fear. My real fear is the mental toll that's going to happen on Dwights once society is not everyone where you're face to face, where your privilege is just screaming and can get you get you excused from certain things or get you put ahead of certain people because of how you look, because you know you there in the flesh. And I was like, dang, that's my main fear, is the mental toll that it's going to take. And lo and behold, we go ahead and we fast forward 4 years later. And the whites, particularly the white males, they are beginning to experience a slither of how life has been for the Black man this whole time. And it's so funny. They're having these epiphanies and they're like, oh, this system is set up to be rigged. And it's this. And I'm sitting there like, so when you all were benefiting from, you know, white supremacy, when, you know, you were able to still make it in that system, you said that you don't see color. You said that you've worked so hard and you pulled yourself up by your bootstrap and that we all are just victims. That's what you said. Now, all of a sudden, post C19, where the dynamics of everything has changed and is different, that now everyone is on a constant cycle of catch up that will never be obtained. Now the whites are woke. Now they've woken up, as they put it. Now they have suddenly had the epiphany that this system is able to hold you back. And it's so funny for me to see these epiphanies and think, what a privilege it is to even have the ability to have a sudden epiphany in 2024 about systematic disadvantage. So I'm going to play this. The glasses are going on. Y'all know when the glasses go on, I mean business. Now I've had some people, they were like, you know, Six, it's been a while since you posted, where you've been. I don't post as much on my public YouTube anymore, only because content for me has always been me wanting things to be solution oriented. I've always wanted to help. I've always wanted to give tough love in my content. But social media now is just this big game of sneak dissing, a big game of, beefs and back and forth. And, for me, the minute I feel as though a niche or sector that I'm in is doing more harm than good, I kind of back away and redirect myself. And that's kind of what I'm in the process of doing now. So in the meantime, if you really rock with me, if you miss my content and want to see me more often, I do have a private Patreon. I have 2 of them. One of them is for men and women. It's a co-ed Patreon for anyone that wants to join. And I'm doing content at least once a week on there and giving my commentary on different things that happens and, events and stuff like that. So it's really inexpensive. I'll put the link in my description, so if you want to tap in with me more often, that would be the best way of doing it. Because the public YouTube thing, honey, I don't know. I am going through a cycle of, redirecting my content. I'm still working on that. So in the meantime, that's how you can tap in with your girl. My peace is everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm in a really good part of my life. Things are going well for me. A lot of great things have happened. I don't have time for the toxicity, and I feel as though there is a lot of toxicity on here. So I'm trying to go in a different direction. I don't want my content being mixed in with any other content that's just not helpful nowadays. All right, so I'm going to play this. I do have this sped up so that it won't be so slow. And y'all, get ready. White men are crying on TikTok. Oh, my God. White men are crying on TikTok, y'all. It's about to go down. Let's see.
I just watched a video from a Gen Xer who feels like she just woke up. How did we get here? I bought it all. I bought a house. I went in the army. I served my country. I'm disabled. I'm trying to get 100% disability because of my pain. I don't medicate with morphine. I work every day. I have to. At one point in my life, in the not so distant future, I could afford my home with my wife, and now I have 2 roommates. Like, when only 5 people have all the money, and they just print it when they want to, and they just send it away to places that they have special interest in, because this whole world is led by evil fucking corporations that feed us fucking garbage. Come on, man. The very first, I woke up and saw it all.
Oh my God, these evil corporations that feed us garbage. So there was no outrage when these evil corporations were targeting Black children for the public school to prison pipeline. There was no outrage for the evil corporations when they were experimenting on Black people for different medical purposes. There's no outrage when you looking at who they're hiring versus who they're not and seeing a clear disadvantage there. There was no outrage. The outrage only happens when something now affects them. Let me stop interrupting and let me let him cook.
What the fuck it is. I fought for this shit. I believed it. I thought 9/11 was fucking real. What a fucking joke, man. You think Baltimore was fucking real? You think that bridge just collapsed like that? And the same motherfucker, and I went to the army because 9/11, the same motherfucker had an insurance policy on a bridge that randomly got blown to bits by a boat in a fucking building. Has anybody ever thought, yeah, 2 planes hit those 2 buildings, but that fucking building just collapsed with no plane hitting it? Meanwhile, passengers like me want to fight for America, take a fucking terrorist out. It was bought by a fucking corporation to do this in the beginning. They crash somewhere else. Maybe that plane was supposed to hit that fucking building and they could explain that one away. What has happened to our fucking country? My friend just told me that his good friend is down in Panama. He's like an ex-CIA SF guy, and he's watching people show up in hundreds and hundreds because there's no passport or immigration rules in Ecuador or some shit like that, and they walk the Darien all the way here, man. This is designed. It is like a fire sale right now. They are fucking printing money, and our whole money system is built on debt. It's a joke. It's the world's greatest Ponzi scheme. They have convinced the masses to just do whatever the fuck they say. I'm a woke motherfucker now, dude. And I am Gen X. And I played in the streets until the fucking lights came on or it was dark. And if you weren't home, they were coming for your ass. And they knew where you were. I had never had a phone. The internet came about and I was like, fuck that shit. I resisted computers. I just went to work and exchanged my time for money that they took in tax 50% of and sent it elsewhere for evil designs. People, we somehow have remained politically silent, being okay with our little bubbles that we create. I think that's what Gen X does, is create bubbles that make it okay to live. And what we're seeing as part of this waking up is the fact that we...
So it's very interesting how he says, oh, you know, we've created this little bubble, aka we've ignored systematic racism. Oh, we've created this little bubble. Yeah, let's go ahead and translate. Okay, when this whole systematic thing was benefiting me and was working for me, it was cool. But did y'all know they could take that same system and actually have it negatively impact us? Matter of fact, I'm just going to translate the rest of his video for y'all. You're welcome. Okay. I'm going to let him talk a little bit, then I'm going to do the translation. All right.
We can't live in that bubble anymore. And this is why. I'm so fucking fired up. This poor lady has worked.
We can't live in this bubble anymore, aka our whiteness is not getting us as far anymore, because guess what? Half of the things that we do now in society, no one even has to see me. Ah! Oh my God.
Her whole life. And her and her husband just admit to the whole world on TikTok that they can't pay their fucking bills. I say we boycott them, and I say we hit them where it hurts. I want everybody that sees this to follow Cancel My Clothing subscription or some shit like that. It's the guy on the internet. He's getting real famous, and he's putting graphs on his website of who owns everything. And it's the same fucking
boycott. Y'all, now what I will say is this: a win is a win for me. Okay. Now I feel like my ancestors, we done did a lot of work where everybody else stepped on our back to get ahead. I'm all for it being the other way around. Now I'm letting y'all know right now, I plan on fully capitalizing on these white men crying on TikTok, because they gonna get the job done. Okay. Once white men start crying, that's how you know, oh, a change is on the way. Okay. A change is on the way. The minute the white man start getting frustrated. Now, I plan on stepping on their back 100%. All the boycotting, you know, I know for a fact that as this gets worse, we'll hear about more issues of them mass unaliving, threatening, and whatever else. Honey, I am going to be the first one stepping on their back. I'll be right there. Yes, the whites. Yes, the whites rage, outrage, boycott, so that we can go ahead and benefit from it too. Okay, it has been the other way around for a long time, baby. I'm about to sit here and let these white men cry on TikTok. Absolutely. Yes, TikTok, rage, whatever y'all need to do. So you can go ahead and get this stuff changed so that we can benefit from it as well. Yeah, I'm all for it. Okay. Do your thing. What's his name? Bill. Do your thing, Bill.
People, wise up. The only way that we can take control is to not give them our money. Spend your money at the local market, whatever money you have left. Grow a garden. Collect rainwater, build a fucking generator, take out a credit card to do it if you have to, and quit fucking paying the credit card, because it's a joke. But get independent, people. It's a movement. And if they can't control us, walk away. Walk away from the system. I hate it. There's only a few places free in the world, and I'm in Alaska. And I'm not in everybody's bubble right now. I'm in my own, but I feel it because of this fucking app.
Oh, this is an Alaskan saltine. Oh, this is a real saltine right here, boy. Oh yeah. This is a oyster cracker. Alaska? An Alaskan saltine? Woo! Oh yeah. Talking about my little bubble. This mofo done went all the way to Alaska with the moose to avoid seeing us in majority. Okay, I know he losing it. Not the saltines in Alaska losing it. And it's so funny because this is what the black man had been dealing with the whole time. It's so interesting to see them now with this whole, the system's rigged, we can't win, we can't get ahead, they're all trying to get us. The black man has been dealing with that since the inception of white supremacy here hundreds of years ago. He's been dealing with this the whole time, and you've been gaslighting the black man this whole time, saying that no one was holding him back, a system can't hold him back, he needs to do his work. Now you're seeing a fraction of what black men have been dealing with, and then despite having to deal with that, have still created amazing things and accomplished amazing things. You all are now seeing what black men have been going through, and you're experiencing this for a few months and you're already in tears. When a black man has been dealing with this from before he's even born, when he's a twinkle in his father's eye, he's already having to deal with systematic disadvantage and oppression. Okay. From the second he come out the womb, he's a victim of it. Y'all been dealing with this for 6 months to a year and you're in tears. Wow. Like, this is a win is a win. A win is a win. I'm hoping that these situations will begin to stop the gaslighting that you cannot be systematically disadvantaged regardless of how hard you work. I'm hoping that they will eat their words and this will help get those talking points up out of there, because they're just not, first of all, it's not true. And second of all, to me, it's really nasty to deny that something exists and then look down on someone because they're not further ahead in the same system that's giving them a disadvantage. Let's let them finish.
I've only been on TikTok a week. This is my second fucking video, and I'm fired the fuck up, people. Wake up. Do the right thing. Fight the corporations who own our politicians. Do not let them divide us. We are the same thing. We're all people trying to be okay, trying to survive. We're not trying to be greedy. We're trying to work for an honest living. That's what we thought our whole lives. That's what we were supposed to do. Exchange our time for money. We just don't want to tax anymore, motherfucker. Okay? We want to be able to afford our bubble, and we'll go back in that fucking bubble. The Gen X fixes this shit. I don't know what we got to do, but I'm on board.
Uh-oh. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, y'all need to be on the lookout. If y'all out somewhere and you see the whites looking mad, and if they look mad with a backpack, we finna go. That means say, whatever we got to do. Oh, I know what that means, because we know y'all history. We know y'all pattern. We know how y'all get down when y'all want something. Okay? But hey, listen. For me, I feel no ways. I don't feel as though things have particularly changed so much for my people. I see the whites now saying, oh, it's so hard to get an apartment. Oh, they want 5 times the rent. They want that, honey. We've been dealing with discrimination. Every time a Black person do an application, we have to wonder, will I be approved because of my application? Every time we do a job application, we have to wonder, will I get it because of my Blackness? You all are experiencing a small part of that, wondering, oh, will I be approved because I don't make enough? And you're crumbling. So this is when, an ethnic muscle in a way will be our advantage, because this stuff that they're crying and breaking down about is stuff that we've been dealing with from the beginning. So I feel as though this will be a small form of a great equalizer between us and them. I think them getting a humbling and a taste that same system that was benefiting you, he talked about, oh, we'll go back in our bubble, aka you'll go back in your bubble when your whiteness gets you somewhere again. And even still, your whiteness still gives you an advantage. We're just talking about tangible advantages that are quicker. You're used to your whiteness buying you a certain level of privilege or a certain level of stability, because I noticed that when you still talk about, you and your friends going down, you're still talking about the fact that you're married, that you own homes. Those 2 things alone are things that have systematically been discouraged or taken away from my people once again for hundreds of years. So you're still able to sit here, a married homeowner, and cry about how hard the system is, when those 2 things, you being married and being a homeowner, was something that was denied to my people up until 100 years ago or less in some places. Okay. So I want you to be careful. I want you to keep your eyes open. I think we all have felt this shift happen. Of the petty side of me, I'm sorry, but I do take a slight delight in seeing white men experiencing to a small degree what Black men experience. I'm sorry, but I can't help it. Like, that's the petty side of me. I can't help but have a little moment of ha ha ha. That's what you get. You know what I'm saying? So let's see how things play out here, y'all. I'm keeping my eyes on a swivel. Like I said, I think a shift is definitely happening. We're going to stay tuned, but y'all get ready, get prepared. This is now more than ever that you need to be tapped in, with your family, with your tribe, have a support system, stay prayed up. And we're going to keep trucking along like we've been trucking along throughout this system, who has been trying to hold us back, and in a system that will never catch up with. Welcome to the club, Dwights. Welcome to the club, Dwights. Folks, give them some tips in the comments on how to deal with living in a system that you have a forever disadvantage in. Let them know. Maybe we can help. Maybe we give them some tips. Okay. Y'all, like the video. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel, and I will see y'all on the next one.